I
Hey
think
everybody, I am so excited to be here with my friend Jason Webb. Jason, I want to first and foremost, I want to welcome you to what is something I have never done before. Well, there are a lot of things I've never done before, obvious, but we've never done anything like this, and it's kind of something new we're kicking around, just doing something completely live. And Jason is amazing. I'm going to have him tell his story really quick here in just a second, but we are excited. We're here live on YouTube, we're live on Facebook, and we're on LinkedIn. So if you're one of my LinkedIn friends, hello, good Wednesday afternoon. Um, it's super fun to be here. Jason is just an amazing, and I haven't written anything down, so this is just me off the cuff with Jason, but he does so many incredible things. But the neatest part is his amazing heart. And I love just hanging out with Jason, love hearing what God is doing in his life. And he's got a neat group on Facebook. And if you're not a part of this group, you need to be, especially if you're a business person, you need to get plugged in. Jason, first and foremost, tell everybody your story. I'm going to let you go full screen. Don't be freaked out. I'm still here. I'm going to go share this in a bunch of places, and then I'll be right back. But you share a little bit about who you are.
Yeah, fantastic. I really appreciate you having me on here, Rob. Just getting to know you and what you do and your heart with your media company, with God, your ministry, you being a PK. It's fantastic. So thank you. I am humbled by you allowing me to be on here. So a little bit about my story. I've been a serial entrepreneur and a salesman all my life, built multiple businesses up, some really big ones that have had some really big successes, and also some ones that have had some really big failures. Yeah, in my early 20s, had some really grand failures, if I'm being honest with you, before I found God. And so all of that transitioned into my life when I found God in my late 20s to being able to build more businesses, start from humble beginnings, build it up, lost it, built it up, lost it. As we've heard many of those stories within the Bible, right? So God called me to build a marketplace ministry. And so what I started working and doing and building up businesses and within sales is I started coaching. I started helping these businesses grow. My last business, we did over 100 million this past year as a director of sales, having 42 salesmen under me and being able to coach and guide them all from a biblical principle, biblical foundation. And being able to do that. So that was incredible, because that was a secular business that did not have God around, but I got to speak God into these people's lives. And I started coaching through that, building that up, and I started going on my own. And I started this Facebook community that you talked about. It's the Profitable Christian Business Owner Community on Facebook. We'll throw up a QR code. You guys can definitely join that if you'd like, because I wanted to build this community to put Christian business owners and entrepreneurs together, to where we put God at the center of our business. He is the focus of everything we do, but everything that we do, whether it's marketing, sales, building this all out, we wanted him to be the focus. And I do have a book that I'd like to recommend to you guys, is Making God Number One in Your Business. Moira Renee, she's the best-selling author of that book. She's within our group. She's within our team. She's an amazing person. And that helps us to put that foundation of God within our business. And so the community there, it's free. The QR code's up there. Would love for you to join that and check that out. See what we have building out as a team. Every Thursday we do networking calls. Actually, every Tuesday and Thursday, we just added a Tuesday one as well, where it's free to anybody within the community. You jump on the call, tell us about your business, what your struggles are, what you're trying to do and build. And we want to help you along that process and building your businesses. It's really incredible, the transformations that we've got to help people within their businesses and see within their lives, especially while keeping God at the focus. Because a lot of people, when they start to build their businesses, they think there's a bucket of business and they think there's a bucket of God, and they can't put those together. And that's what we want to do. And so we come alongside you and help you to do that. Again, businesses that I built personally, $100 million business, $100 million business, $300 million business, multiple 6 and 7 figure businesses, been a consultant in helping these guys build their businesses from a sales perspective, lead generation side, marketing side, operational pieces. These are all things that we talk about within that group. All these strategies, we have live trainings, we have free things in there. If you're just thinking about building a business and you don't have any clue where to start, we want to walk through that process with you and say, look, what about this idea? How are you going to do this? How do you think about this? Maybe give you some ideas on what you think would you be really good at in business. Well, let's make sure that's something that you can actually monetize, that you can do this for, because we want you to do what God has called you to do. And so my ministry is a marketplace ministry. That's what God has put on my heart to do, is build out that ministry of business where we can build the ministry through your business. We want to build the kingdom through your business. God wants us to have these businesses, but he wants us to glorify him through them. So I'd love for you to join it and be a part of that. I'm getting that QR codes down below.
Yes. Hey, listen, I got a chance yesterday. They do a thing yesterday, like almost like speed dating, and it was so cool. I had so much fun. Except I was challenged by the fact that obviously I'm old and don't realize how to use things. And it said, "Hey, listen, your time is up in 59 seconds," and I thought I had to press OK to do that, and I disappeared. Yeah, I disappeared out of the group, and I was like, "How does that happen?" And so I was, but it is so cool. Tell everybody um, a little bit about, and I love your heart for what you were talking about and how this is so important to have a good grounding, and even if your business isn't a Christian based business.
Mm-mm.
It's so good to have this grounding, a place to come like this with Jason and what they're doing. It's so refreshing. Now, I'm very blessed. My company is basically a Christian. We deal a lot. We're dealing some with secular clients, but overall, it's a very Christian company. And so I go into this group and I get refreshed. But who came up with the idea about doing the speed introductions and stuff?
I would love to say that I did, but I didn't. It was actually a member of our team that we brought into the fold, because within our program we have multiple coaches that we brought in, because I wanted to put so many people that have different specialties than mine together to help people grow their businesses. So you might not need what I need, or what I can provide, but you have somebody else there. So a person on our team, she's amazing at social media and branding and all this, and she thought of the idea. She had done this in another group about speed networking. And so
Yes.
it's basically a 4-minute conversation with each other. So you get 2 minutes to kind of chat with each other and see if you have some synergies, if you can help each other out within business, and then you're going to connect outside of the call where you have those connections. And so we call it, it's basically speed dating for businesses. It's super fun. It's there's a lot of laughing and jokes, because it is crazy, because it's so fast, so quick, and just you got to check it out.
Definitely. And so there's a QR code that's on there. You can check out the link, and I have no idea what that is. This whole live thing, and I want to do this, and I'm trying to talk Jason into doing them with me every week, and just do like a live thing, maybe hang out. Maybe if you're watching this later, which does happen because it's middle of the day here on the East Coast, it's early morning still where you are, Jason, or it's now, what time is it?
A couple hours, man. We're almost lunchtime, so I am getting hungry.
So this morning I had great breakfast. I won't need lunch. My wife called and asked me about lunch, and I said I'm good. I'm good for lunch. So here's the thing. I want to ask you, because I ask a lot of entrepreneurs this question. And so I want to ask you this question, and we've been friends now a while, and I don't know the answer to this. So I didn't set him up on this.
You didn't prep me.
When in life did you realize that you had that entrepreneurial spirit? How old were you, and what was that moment?
Oh, the moment when I was probably 7 years old. My parents were, my dad was a truck driver and my mom was a teacher. We didn't have a lot, but they always had some side things that they were working. My dad did some mechanicking. We built cars. My mom had a tax business, bookkeeping business that she did on the side. And so as a young kid, I'm like, okay, well, man, how, I want to have a little extra money here or that for my toys or whatever I wanted. So I started a candy business out of my grade school. My mom bought me a box of Jolly Rancher sticks, the bigger Jolly Ranchers, and I started bringing them to school. And I had a few friends ask me, "Oh man, I want some of those. Can I buy them from you?" So I started selling them for $3 for $1. When I bought a box of them for, I think it was $3 for the box. I'm like, oh wow, okay, I can buy something cheap, mark it up, and sell it. Okay, so I started doing that. And pretty soon, I'm the one in the lunch line getting all the extra snacks and all the cool things, and everybody's like wondering what the heck's going on. Well, that worked out well for me for a few months before the school caught on and basically shut me down. But that was where I really realized that I had an entrepreneurial spirit. That I'm like, okay, there's got to be a different way. And so I started doing that at a very early age. And then as I got older, with my dad being a mechanic, I started getting into, we did some car flips. We'd buy some older cars, fix them up. I'm a big car guy. I like all cars, but some American muscle cars is what we really started building out. And I was the only 16-year-old with 4 different cars, all totaling about maybe $5,000 worth of cars. But still, I had 4. Okay, but we built them, we fixed them, and we sold them. And so all my life, I've had an entrepreneurial spirit. I love growing businesses. People ask what my hobbies are. It's not that I do, games or any of this other stuff. My hobby is building businesses and walking alongside people to help them grow their businesses. I just love seeing people reach their potential.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Jason has become my friend. My wife doesn't care about cars. And so Jason is my friend. When I go on Facebook Marketplace and go, isn't this a cool car? My wife will go, that's old. So I send it to Jason and Jason goes, that's awesome.
Yes.
And so we bonded over cars and things like that. And so, of course, it's your entrepreneurial side started then.
Yes.
But then when did it really, when did you go, this is what I want to be? I want to do sales. I want to do this the rest of my life, and which you really have.
Yeah. That really started.
You?
I actually started that in college. I played sports. I was the first person in my family to go to college, graduate college, but I had a side job because I just like to work. It's just in my blood. And so I started working at an electronics store where they were commission based, just for some extra money to do, again, whatever I needed in college, buy some books and things. And so I started working, and I realized I really liked talking to people and building relationships. And it really wasn't sales. It didn't seem like it was salesy to me, because I grew up thinking sales were used car salesmen, snake oil salesmen, this type of stuff. But it wasn't that. It was just me building relationships and being relatable and helping people out with their stereo equipment or their TVs or, all this different stuff. And come to find out, I ended up being really good at it. And I was the only President's Club member in the entire country out of, I think, 500 stores, that I was the one that was part-time. Everybody else was full-time. And so I realized, okay, well, maybe I got something, I can do something with this. And again, I wanted to change the narrative on sales. From a very young age. I didn't want people to think of it that way. It was me trying to just help people out with their problems, finding solutions to what issues they have. And so that's really where I got into sales. It wasn't the case of me trying to sell to make tons of money. It was always about, how can I help you out?
And see, I think that the best salespeople, and we're talking, by the way, Jason has an amazing group on Facebook that you need to be a part of. There's the QR code. You can find it there. But I think really honestly, and the great salesmen that I've gotten a chance to talk to, it's never really about the sale. It's about the relationship.
Completely. Yeah. And just in this past couple of years, I've moved into more of a consulting role with these businesses. And so my moniker is the Profitable Salesman. That's my website, theprofitablesalesman.com. You can check that out through the group. But that's really where I kind of got my online thing rolling and rocking, was being able to teach sales through online businesses, and just having those conversations, communications, relationships. And like you said, that's the biggest thing, is building those relationships.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. I think that's a huge thing. Okay. And so Jason's a sports guy. So we got to talk about, since this is live and there's no rhyme or reason. There's no my wife would be panicking because she has to kind of have a rough idea of what she's doing. I have no script when I do this stuff. But I want to ask you, March Madness right around the corner. We're heading into it starting tomorrow. It's unless you watch this on the replay and it's already started, then you missed the live. But so give me your pick.
Who's going to take it all? You got to go UConn, man. Number 1 seed. I'm not a huge fan, but they're doing well.
Really, that's like the safe.
It is the safe pick. It never works out that way either. But I have a good feeling about them this year. They've stuck it out well. I do think a couple of my Colorado teams got kind of hosed in the first, in the actual picking, the seeding, because I thought they did better, especially Colorado State. I'm in Colorado. I'm in Colorado, so I have those guys. But I think UConn's going to pull it out.
I think UConn is there isn't really anybody that you look if you follow it at all, you look at everybody else and you kind of go, I saw 2 UConn games this year, and they look like the statement that is made. They look like grown men, where some of these other teams look like guys that you and I could play against.
You haven't seen me jump, Rob. I can't jump.
Yes, neither can I anymore. Not at this age, not with these knees, and not with the extra weight that I'm carrying. But UConn looks like, I mean, honestly, they look like grown men playing the game. Now, of course, as you know, I spent a good part of my life in the state of Washington, and I'm not a Cougar fan. I am a University of Washington Husky all the way, but the Cougs are in this year. And you gotta hope. I mean, I think there were seven or 8 seed. I think it was a 7 seed. And you gotta hope for them that they do well. It's the end of the Pac-12 as we know it. You know, Colorado bolted beforehand, and now University of Washington, Oregon, all those guys left, and we all went Big Ten. You guys couldn't handle that, so you went somewhere else. But I don't know. I love this time of year, and see, that's the neat thing, and that's one thing I love about Jason is we can talk about God one minute and praying, next minute we're going, ooh, yeah. And I love to give him a hard time because he's a Denver Bronco fan, and I thank him every day for allowing us to trade Russell Wilson there. And now I feel sorry for all you Pittsburgh Steelers fans who currently have to. I mean, you had 2 years of it now. You can understand. I mean, you're in there. Then they get Justin Fields. And they're like, he's going to be the backup, and that whole thing. I was listening to a little thing about that, and I like Justin. Don't get me wrong. Justin played in Georgia, and I own a radio station in Alabama, and we actually covered a game where he was playing back in the day. Holy cow! I mean, he was back then in high school. Oh yeah, but I don't know. I don't know if it's ghosts he hears or what he hears in his head, but something's wrong there, and he needs some help with that. And but anyway, so this is it. We don't know what this is going to be form wise. I think we need somebody else on here, Jason, besides us. I think we should start bringing people in, maybe do this. I don't know. I'm not saying we're committing to Wednesday yet, but we might do this Wednesday, and we may not, and we'll see. But it's fun. We have a good time. We click. I swear, we've only known each other a few months, maybe was less than 6 months.
That's 6 months.
And it's like he's like, I of course, being an only child, I have never had brothers or sisters, but he's like a little brother. And it's like I hang out with him, and we have a great time. We have a love of food, which makes transcends no matter where you live. He gets pictures of my food, and I get pictures of his food, and we do that and cars, pretty much our life.
All of it, sports, you name it. We got all the bases covered, at least as men, right?
That's it. Hey, listen, if you're a business person and you're saying, I'd love to talk to you guys, I'd love to be on your show, shoot us an email. You can send a email through or a message through any of our Abundant TV apps or anything like that, and we would love to hear from you. Hey, Jason, I'm going to put this up one more time. Tell everybody that may have just gotten on what that is and how they can get involved.
First off, hey Brian, I see that you said hi there. So the QR code up on the screen here is the Profitable Christian Business Owner Community. It's a community on Facebook where we go over business practices, operations, sales, lead generation, networking. We get the business owners together within Christian faith that have got at the focus of their business to help you grow your business. But it's a community where we want to put everybody together to talk about that. And so that's what that's about. We've grown that community fairly quickly, and would love to have you be a part of that. I think we've froze here, but yeah, check out that community. Again, it's the Profitable Christian Business Owner Community on Facebook.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I froze there for a second.
That's okay.
But that's okay, because I don't have nearly as you were the one talking, so that's really good. Check out that link right there. Hit your QR code. Do that. It's important. Jason, thank you, man, for hanging out with me. And it's been so much fun. We need to do this again. I'm serious.
Yeah, no, I definitely think we will. We'll probably do this more often.
Yes, let's do it. Have a great day, guys. We appreciate you. Even if you watch this afterwards, hey, tell us where you're from. Put a location where you're from in the comments below. But we appreciate you. We'll see y'all next time.